Hello everyone, I am Dr. Ipshita Bhattacharya, Assistant Professor from Department of Humanities, the Bhopal School of Social Sciences. Today we will be talking about the history of contemporary India with its scope from 1947 to 2004. The Unit 1 consists of Political Integration of India. Political Integration of India, wherein we will be talking about the integration of princely states into Indian Union with special reference to Hyderabad, Junagadh and Kashmir. Now, the Indian Independence Act of 1947 gave princely states an option either to join Pakistan or to join India, and the third option was to remain independent. Political integration of princely states in Indian Union post India's independence with special reference to Junagadh. Today we will be talking about Junagadh. Now, here in this map you are able to see, this is the map on the eve of 15th of August 1947. Wherein in this map you can see these blue regions which are shaded in blue. They are the princely states of India on the eve of 1947. Now, this whole region constitutes approximately 48% of Indian territory and 28% of India's population. Now, why this political integration of these princely states were important? This political integration was important because this blue region that you can see on the map of India, which is embedded across India's map, says that these princely states were all monarchical in nature, whereas the independent India was vying towards getting democratic institution with a parliamentary form of government. In this view, the integration of these princely states became all the more important for India. On 15th of August 1947, total number of princely states that time was 565, wherein 552 came to India's lap, whereas 13 princely states went to Pakistan. States that agreed to join India on 1957, approximately 549, and states which were reluctant to join India were Junagadh, Hyderabad and Kashmir. So, these are the three important cases which we will be discussing. Now comes the important role of the government and the special leaders who were given this responsibility to integrate these princely states into India. The most dynamic and the significant personalities who were responsible and who contributed to integrate these princely states into the political union of India were Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel and V.P. Menon. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, who was India's Deputy Prime Minister that time, he played a dynamic and a significant role in persuading these princely states to integrate into the Indian Union. He employed a carrot and stick policy, which is very famously embedded into the strategic policies. We will talk about this carrot and stick policy in a little while. Sardar Patel introduced the concept of privy purses. These privy purses were monetary gains which promised large amount of funds which were being paid to the owners of these princely states. That means the Rajas or the Nawabs of these princely states and to their royal families. This was done in lieu to get their agreement to join Indian Union. A Ministry of State was constituted under the leadership of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, and he was assisted in this endeavour was VP Menon. Now this political integration was a crucial one, but of course the essential also. Vapla Panguni Menon, VP Menon, was a bureaucrat who played a key and a significant role in integrating over 500 princely states into India. Now, instrument of accession were being signed by these princely states in order to amalgamate with Indian Union, and Menon worked with Sardar Patel and Lord Mountbatten to negotiate the instrument of accession in India's favour, which gave the Congress government control of defence, foreign affairs and communication. In order to complete this process, there were certain strategic tools implemented. These strategic tools of negotiations were employed in order to bring these princely states into the Indian Union. Number one is the negotiation part. The Indian government negotiated with the princely rulers to convince them to join India voluntarily. Their first choice was willingly and voluntarily. The instrument of accession was a legal document that facilitated this process. Negotiation was done in order to bring the princely states into the folds of Indian Union. Second important tool was military action. However, military action was the last resort. The government used military actions to annex some of the states, but in a given circumstances, such as when we talk about Junagadh and Manavdar under the given circumstances. Another important negotiation tool was the diplomatic means, that means through dialogues between the Council of Ministers of Junagadh and the Indian government. Government used diplomatic means to acquire control over the colonial enclaves, which were later on integrated into the Indian Union. Another carrot and stick policies negotiation also included the privy purses, which we just now had a talk about. Wherein the government offered the royal families large amount of payments as privy purses in order to pursue them to join Indian Union. These privy purses were given to them for the development of their respective princely states. Then another negotiation tool was subordination. Smaller states which were made subordinate to the federal center through the process of democratization. Absorption. Now some princes were very much willing to join the political system of India once India achieved its independence. So they were put into the new political structure of as governors and deputy governors. Now these were some of the negotiation tools which were strong and sometimes hard also in order to implement and in order to employ these strategic tools to bring the princely states into the Indian Union. This was necessary in order to keep India as union. Otherwise, since these princely states which were having the political system as monarchical system might have resulted into balkanization of India. So, first of all, we will be discussing about the Junagarh. Now, Junagarh signed instrument of accession with India in February 1948. Junagadh, which was then ruled by Muhammad Mahabad Khan III, and his Diwan was Shah Nawaz Bhutto. Yes, you are right, Shah Nawaz Bhutto, who was the grandfather of Benazir Bhutto. Now, Junagadh was a special place for Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Muhammad Ali Jinnah was having emotional and sentiment attachment to Junagadh and very persuasive to bring Junagadh into Pakistan. Junagadh was a small but strategically important princely state on the southwestern coast of India, which was ruled by Nawab Muhammad Mahabad Khan III. Why it was strategic, we can see in this map. If you see the position of Junagadh, this is on three sides, it is being landlocked by India and with a one single outlet to the Arabian Sea. This makes this position all the more important for both geopolitical wise and strategic wise, both for India and for Pakistan. Junagadh, which has an area of approximately 8,643 square kilometer with a population of more than 6,70,000 according to the census of 1941, with a majority of Hindu population of 80%. But this Junagadh location has no territorial connectivity to Pakistan. Nawab signed accession to Pakistan against the will of its citizens of Junagadh. 80% of Hindu population of Junagadh wanted to join Indian Union. India was, however, suggesting a referendum in Junagadh. A referendum was held in Junagadh on 20th of Feb 1948 and decided by the state, in which 91% of the voters in the state made the decision to join India. But this journey was not that easy. It had lot of folds. So, we will have to go through the series of events which eventually led to the Junagadh's signing of instrument of accession with India. 15th of August 1947, when India was celebrating its independence, lot was happening in the background of Junagadh and Indian government. Indian government was preparing itself to manage to bring in the princely states into its union, and it was successful in many of the cases. But in case of Junagadh, India was given to understand that Junagadh will probably join India. However, certain things were working in the background. Junagadh was in close communication with Pakistan, wherein Muhammad Ali Jinnah was pursuing the Nawab of Junagadh to join Pakistan. Nawab was eager to join Pakistan. However, India was not knowing all these facts. India too persuaded the Nawab and his administration of Junagadh to become the part of Indian Union. However, India was given to understand that Junagadh will reveal its decision in few days. However, India got on 17th of August the news that Junagadh is planning to join Pakistan. Now, this created a lot of worries into the political leaders of India and into the political corridors of India. Junagadh became part of in India 1948, but after series of events. However, after its declaration that Junagadh wants to join Pakistan, on September 14, 1947, the Nawab of Junagadh signed an instrument of accession to join Pakistan. However, this was disregarding the Mountbatten's contiguity principle. Mountbatten's contention was that only states bordering the Pakistan should accede to it. Evidently, it was not a constitutional requirement, only a political one. All this process was going through wherein lot of other political events were already happening in the background, wherein the Indian political leaders were invited to Junagadh in order to discuss the fate of Junagadh. Indian political leaders, which constituted of a team of Vallabhbhai Patel, V.P. Menon and Mountbatten. They were having regular rounds of talks in order to pursue Junagadh to become part of India. Now, there were certain vassal states. These vassal states, for an example, Babariawad was there, Mangrol was there. Once they heard the news of Pakistan, Junagadh joining Pakistan, they reacted in a different way. They were the vassal states of Junagadh. However, they were significantly populated by Hindu population. They were reluctant to join Pakistan. So they declared their freedom from Junagadh and they claimed to join India. So the principality of the Babariawad and Mangrol, they reacted by claiming independence from Junagadh and were ready to accede to India. However, Indian occupation. Now, on November 9th, 1947, India occupied Junagadh under several rounds of negotiations and talks. Meanwhile, approximately 25,000 to 30,000 of population of Junagadh, they assembled into other states of Gujarat, wherein they were trying to form a government in exile with the help of Samal Das Gandhi, which was known as Arzi Hukumat, wherein they were trying to run the government of Junagadh from outside Junagadh. Because of the latest developments that happened in Junagadh, Nawab Mahabat Khanji, he was not very much interested into the administrative works. He flew to Pakistan. He was more focused on his pleasure activities, wherein it is also said that he had immense love for dogs. He had a huge collection of approximately 800 dogs, wherein once he celebrated and he organized his dog's marriage, wherein he incurred an expenditure of more than 2 crores and also invited the then Viceroy of India into that celebration. So he was least bothered about the incidences that were happening within his estate. Rather, he was more interested to collect his royal treasuries and to flew to Pakistan, leaving behind the Diwan, Shah Nawaz Bhutto. It is also being understood that Shah Nawaz Bhutto was reluctant to join Pakistan initially, and he agreed for the referendum to be conducted in Junagadh. So, in this case, revocation of accession happened on November 10th, 1947 under the given circumstances, mainly because of the reluctancy of the vassal states to remain with Junagadh. Secondly, in order to stop the political instability which was arising within Junagadh in absence of the Nawab, and also because of India's stronger stand towards Junagadh. So, under all these circumstances, revocation of accession on November 10th, 1947 was done. Junagadh rescinded its accession to Pakistan and acceded to India. Referendum was held on 24th of February 1948. It was held in Junagadh that approved India's accession, wherein 91% population wanted to accede to India. Accession in its effect came on February 25th, 1948. With Junagadh's accession to India, it became effective. Now, this is an image which you can see wherein after the Junagadh was ceded to India, it joined Indian Union, a press conference was made wherein you can see V.P. Menon, Vallabhbhai Patel, Lord Mountbatten and the press conference. This was the time when it was declared officially that Junagadh has become the part of India. However, Pakistan still have its love for Junagadh. Very recently, it has tried to show Junagadh in its Pakistan's map, which can be called under the cartographic aggression towards India. So, currently Junagadh is a part of India. So, next episode we will be discussing about the signing of instrument of accession of Hyderabad with India. Till then, happy learning. Thank you.